We bought a 1930s derelict bungalow in the middle of Cardiff and have spent the last 3 years doing it up ourselves.
In today's video I'm going to show you how I did the drainage for the surface and rainwater. Outlined is the extension that we added onto the property. For the extension we had an architect's plans, and with the plans came a drainage layout. The flat roof design came with 3 roof outlets to allow for adequate drainage. These all run off into the new underground drainage.
Let's get into the video.
We've exposed the old chamber and dug a trench to allow for the new drainage. This one's got fixed fittings, so what I've done is I've just measured now distance from there to there plus my 65mm for each end. I've cut that. I just need to taper off the edges and lube up and get it fitted. It's pretty much where it needs to be in level wise. It should be just up off the floor, and then I can put chip-ins underneath and surrounding it, and then I can bed this manhole level or chamber level, and then I can backfill it for now, and then I'm going to work my way back around here. I've just put these fittings on here temporary just so I know sort of where I'm going, but the idea is to come off 45 and then 45 again. I didn't want the chamber too far over because the idea is everything's going to be square off here, and then I didn't want like a chamber going past the house. So that's the plan. So yeah, just gonna get this put in, try and get some chip-ins around here, fill it in, backfill it as much as I can, and then we can then look at running down the side of the house to take the gully pot at the end. And also this is where we're at the moment with the garden. We've got sleepers in across there, returning over there, put this temporary bed in just because we're not sure what we're doing with that. Just really rough gravel boards, just pegged them in for now, top her up with some soil, and then over here we've put in our buff concrete path edgings just down there to separate the grass and the patio area, and then we're thinking about maybe gravel stone up there. Right, so now that it's connected there and there, I knew that I dug my chamber a bit too deep. So if you can see on the spirit level there, it's showing that the fall is going down towards that chamber, which is no good. So I've got to pack that chamber up, bed this with chip-ins all the way under, lift her up. You want between a 1 in 40 and I think it's a 1 in 110. The best is 1 in 80 fall, which I think over an 1800 level is about 25mm from there dropping down to there. So what I'll do is I'll pack it up slowly, roughly get it to 25mm, because there's only rainwater, there's no solids or anything like that going down this. So yeah, we'll get that the chip-ins from the car now and pack it up. Right, I got 2 bags of chip-ins down there now, surrounded the bottom and on the sides. What we'll do is put our level across again. And we're just gonna collapse the hole. We're just gonna put a level across the centre again. Just make sure we're not on any stones. And then straight away, I've already adjusted it. You can see it's level. So that means I need to go up 25mm that end just to get a fall. And I'll just check along with the level then to make sure there's no dips in the middle of this pipe, so we don't get any sitting stagnant water and building up any debris. And I'm just going to give her a little shake like so. And again you can see the bubbles come up, so we're just going to check the level. We've got about 10mm there. I'm going to do a little bit more. There you go, you can see it's right past that line now. And I can see just under there, it's hard to tell, I got a good 20 odd mil. So that's it. I'm just gonna run this trowel down the side, make sure it's filled right underneath so we got full support. I'm going to top it over with 50 to 100 mil of chipping, and then I'm going to work on that chamber and then get this backfilled so I can have access down the side of the house without trenches collapsing. So now I've got a good surround on all the pipe with the chippings. I'm just backfilling the mud that I dug out. I've got 2 barrows on there. I'm just going to scrape back, give it a little walk over, top it over, and then eventually over the next few months when we're doing the garden through the summer, with rain and walking over it, should compact down. On big sites you probably wouldn't do this. You put all the chippings in, then put hardcore MOT type 1 to the top and just compact it, and then you have a road layer or some grass over the top. But yeah, that's what we're doing, just using materials we have on site and just backfilling. And just like that, that's another night after work done, a couple of hours, just finishing off filling that up. Next we'll do this tomorrow night. We start around that corner. I think what I'll do is just do like X amount of meters, 2 or 3 meters, get a run in like a full pipe, backfill it so far so I can just carry on working around and keep it safe, because we don't want to be falling down any trenches in the night. But yeah, backfilled that, and also got all the stone dust for bedding my ACO channels, and then all the chippings for the drainage. But that's just what it's looking like, guys. Bit of a mess, but getting there slowly. So last night I finished off backfilling the one run from chamber to chamber. Tonight I'm going to start around this corner and just start excavating. Right guys, so I've dug about just under halfway. I got one length of pipe in. We've got a 45 going into the drain. I put my level on there to make sure it's got the fall. It's about 20 mil over that. I think it's like 2.8 meter length, which is plenty for rainwater. I've also put my laser level on to check that this small section's got a fall. So that's got a 5 mil fall in that little 300 section. And then that's got a 20 mil fall from there down. So I'm going to backfill this for now. Get all these chippings in, cover over. I will probably, because we've got loads of hardcore, just top it up with hardcore rather than use mud, because there's no point in having a thin layer of mud in there that's going to squish down. So yeah, I'll get this backfilled now, and that might be it for the night. And there you have it, guys. That is filled all the way around the sides and up to the top, ready for the final layer. I probably won't put the final layer in just yet. I'll finish all the way down there, and then whatever I need from the builders I'll collect, because I've only got what we got 8 bags left of chippings. So I bought 15. We've gone through half. I'm just coming around the side, so I've got a bit more to go down that end. So yeah, that's how it's looking at the moment. I'm gonna have a little water test, put some water down the end and see if it runs out all the way. Make sure it doesn't sit in that bend. It should fall all the way through, but yeah, let's give it a test and then we should be happy. Alright guys, it's 2 days later since we put this in. I did say the last night I was going to dig the rest of this out and put the rest of this in, but we ended up having a bit of a rest night, and I'm paying the price now because it's been raining all morning, so I've got to get out here regardless. So the plan is dig all the way along here, extend all the pipe all the way, and then we're going to put in this trap. I'm not sure what type of trap this is called, but it's just a trap, and it'll connect onto the pipe there, and it'll go around like that. And then I'm going to have just a bit of pipe coming out the bottom of this, or top of this, up underneath our ACO. So then when our ACO falls into there, this will always have water in and stop any smells from the sewer coming back up. Now a lot of people will be like, oh, you won't smell the smells. Well, the drain cover there I've been working on, I can smell loads of sewer, especially when it rains, and you can get all the sewers in the main street flushing through and all the smells just flowing back up the pipes. So yeah, I'm putting a trap in regardless, and when I do the manhole covers down the side, I'm going to have double sealed manholes. They're probably going to be recessed because we're just going to stone the whole lot, and that double seal will stop any smells coming back up through. So for any of you who were watching from the beginning, remember the foundations, the floor level of the garden was up to here, so we had to excavate our trenches down. We got 225 plus 225 is 450 plus another 225, which is what's that, 675, plus the 300 mil for the concrete foundations. So we were like a meter into the ground to get our trench in, and it looked completely different. I wondered if Natasha can put a photo here of the trenches and how deep it looked. But now we had all the oversight inside taken down all the way down to foundation level, so that was like 700 mil, 600 mil, and now we're all backfilled up outside to a decent level below DPC. So our DPC is here, and we're going to bring our ACOs up to here, 150 mil below DPC all the way along, and that'll be our finished level of the garden. So that's why we took so much out of the garden, just to get a level, and we're just a little step up by there. Right, so we got about 5.5, 6 meters in the ground over there, all leveled, ready to go. I've got this last little pipe which I'm hoping is going to be long enough, because I ain't got nothing longer. If not, I'll have to use a straight connection and that piece over there. So yeah, straight round, a little 90 bend, straight into this gully pot. So I want the gully pot around here somewhere, so it's away from the 45 of our ACO drains, and then this can just run into the ACO drain, straight to the gully pot, into our trap on the 45 bend, all the way down there and to that outlet. Technically this should be a rod and access down here, but because it's only rainwater and it's only this trap here, I don't think there's going to be any chance really of this getting blocked. And if it ever does get blocked, I can just take the ACO drain channel off and just give it a good old blast with a jet wash, and it should shift any earth or any silt or anything like that that's in there. And if not, I can always get a wet vac in there, just try and get the sludge out and get my hand down there. So that is the plan. So yeah, 90 degrees into the gully pot, straight up under the side of the ACO. I'll leave that along, and then when it comes to it, I can just multi-tool it off, and that should be our drainage ready to go. Right guys, so that's the run all the way in. I just need to level up this last bit and get all that right to the correct height. I bought these cheaper couplers from the builders. As you can see, they're all in one piece, and they've just got a rubber ring on the inside. Compared to the Flowplast, these are a nightmare to work with. Struggle to get in to those fittings. I had to put loads of soap on it and use a rubber mallet just to tap the pipe down, whereas the Flowplast are like a two-part ring that comes apart on the ends if you need to, and they slot in like a dream. So yeah, let's get this leveled up, and then I can backfill it and then pick up some more chip-ins if I need them. Tasha's just going to test this for me. Just going to fill this up with a bucket of water. I'm going to go around the other end to just make sure it's running all freely. And just like that, you can see it's got good flow. It's running away in the right direction. And yeah, happy with that, so we can start backfilling. So I've added some more layers of hardcore to where I think it needs it most. We worked our way across the front and where all the drainage went this morning. So I'm just going to go around now and give this a good whack and compaction, and I can check my levels later this evening. I've got a little bit around here where it needs to be, but I've got to do all my waste. I got to do all the water down the side. I've got to dig a trench before I start hardcore down here, so that's another job for another day. So my levels are almost there. As I said, we'll give her a whack, check our levels, and then just top her up where we need to. Guys, welcome back to a new day on the project. So yesterday you would have seen I prepped everything. Today's plan is to work on these ACO drains. So if you haven't seen these before, you usually use these as like a channel drainage to get surface water away from anywhere you need to. So all it is just a grid on top of a bit of plastic channel. On the bottom of these guys, all the way along, they've got little outlets which you can pop out with a hammer and chisel, or you can core drill them. And basically what that is you drill a hole, drops down into drainage like I've done around the corner, and it just takes all the water away. First thing I'm going to do is going to connect them all along, and they just interlock on the ends. You've got a female and male fitting, and just dry run them, make sure I get my miters in the right place so I don't have an awkward joint, and then we'll get a mixture on and start bedding them. Right guys, so I've already cut my first 45 mitre for that corner just over there, and I want to do the return down the side of the house. So the plan is, now I've already got a cut here, I see a lot of people, they just 45 wherever, and then when the grids go together they don't match up, so it'd be like sort of like that, but I want to try and get it so my 45 marries up and everything sort of almost lines up, so you get the notches looking the same. It's a bit pedantic and a bit OCD, but it'll look better. I'll probably get it good on that corner over there, but unfortunately it sort of will fall wherever it falls here. I might have to adjust this cut just to marry up. But yeah, I'm just being a little OCD, just getting the corners to match up pretty good, and I can do some fine adjustments if I need to. So as I was just explaining guys, that is sort of what I was trying to create, where everything matches up. It's not 100% perfect, might be my cut or measuring, but that's pretty damn good, and I'm happy with that, and that can go on that corner and it'll look all right. And sadly Lily's had to come out and join us because she was inside crying. The mix I'm using for bedding the ACO drains is stone dust, so I'm going to do 6 stone dust to 1 cement. I've set my first corner now. I'm going to work my way back. At the moment I'm just going to go roughly level with the with the bed of the cement, because I know that is pretty much smack on level, and I'll just go round afterwards with my 1800 level, just tamp it down where it needs to be. Once that's done, we're going to haunch the front of it, and that'll hold all this in place. So So I've got a nice good bed of mix, and then you'll just horns the front and it'll be solid. Some people might be wondering why we're connecting our rainwater into our soil waste. When we had the planning for this extension, there was no acceptable area to install a soakaway, so for this reason we've been allowed to connect straight into the waste. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can have a dry mix and let the moisture from the ground come up and set the cement. You can have a semi-dry mix, or you can have a wet mix. Because it's really hot, it's been like 25-30 degrees for the last week, and we're going straight onto this dry hardcore. I've done a nice wet mix, give it a long time to dry out, so it shouldn't crack or break down at all, and plus it's just a bit easier for myself to work with. So this is all we've managed to do so far. I wanted to get the back of the house done so I could finish whacking down the hardcore to the correct level, ready for our patio. In this video I've done a lot more talking and explaining. If that's the type of content you like, comment down below. If not, let us know if you prefer the time lapse.
Catch up with us in 2 weeks' time to see how we're progressing with the garden. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.